This episode is sponsored by Creality. Hey everybody, hope everybody in the Northern Hemisphere's staying cool. I'm certainly not, because I'm out here on another gorgeous day, but boy, it's going to be hot. Going to be another 90 to 100 degrees. Just love sanding. That's why basically I'm sitting here as much as I can get in the shade and do my sanding. But let's talk about where we're at. Most of what's going to be this time is an update. Just show you all the things I've been doing, because none of it's really new. I've been scanning, I've been sanding, basically marking off all of the parts of the car that I want to get done, and then labeling some of the items as luxury items for the show. Those are luxury, meaning if I have time, I'll get to it. If not, this is the way it's going to show up. So let's get to it. Other things we've done, I went ahead and got some steel lock pins for both the engine cover and the frunk. So because the aluminum ones I had in here were dog shit, so those are much better. Yes, we have the center console out and the upper piece. We'll get to those in a minute. Show you how those are going. Remember the scanner and our little sponsor, Creality. So I did a scan of this guy, and then I redesigned these inserts, which I am digging a lot better. But man, they fit perfect because of that scanner. So we've almost got the driver's side one done, and then I'm going to be printing that center one. Again, these are probably going to go as 3D prints as they sit. We'll clean them up a little bit, but that's pretty much it. And then a lot of the little gaps and tape marks where I have things that I'm going to fix beforehand. We've got these side windows. These are Lexan. Eventually those will be glass. This one over here fits a lot better than that one. So you can see we have a nice line here with the door, and then it clears the door when the door opens. So those are going to sit in there pretty nice. So now let's go downstairs. So I was really unsatisfied with let's see, let me just show you these guys. So I went through all that work, all that effort, and at the end of the day, I didn't like them. So that's just the way things go sometimes. You mock them up, you put them in, you look at them, and then great. But these are the old ones, and I really kind of actually like these. So these go in right here. And what I've been doing is I'm making sure that they fit in there nice and tight. So you can see I've been doing a little bit of body work there to tighten those gaps up and fitting those in. So those are going to go in. They're going to go in as 3D prints. I'm not going to do anything with them. Eventually they'll probably get painted since they're grills. And then over here, I have my my side mirrors, and I think you can sort of see here that I've gone with the forged carbon look, and so I'm getting close to sanding these down. You can see here I've hit this with some 320, and then eventually we're going to go ahead and clear coat these once I've got enough epoxy on here that I'm not getting any of these little pinholes. So here's the map light area that goes on the interior. So I covered it in epoxy, and then I've laid some 3K carbon on it. I'm doing the finer carbon for the interior just because I think it looks a little bit better, and then we do 6K on the outer stuff. You can see I have this in here. I actually did cover this in epoxy and tried to put the carbon on, and the way I was putting it on was terrible because I had to rip it all off. So I ripped it all off, let the epoxy cure, and then sanded it all back down again. So we'll make another attempt there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one half at a time, which is what I kind of originally had planned, and I should have gone with that. But I didn't, so here we are. Printer's cooking along, doing lots of printing. And then I've got this guy here. This is going to go in the center of the center console. Little touch of red. I've put the fiberglass veil on the other side to keep it from fraying. We got a little bit of fraying here with the Kevlar. Now I've done this Kevlar when I originally was going to do blue and then changed over to red. I did some blue Kevlar. This stuff is pretty finicky, so when we go to cover it in epoxy, we have to make sure we saturate it really well, and then we put a few coats on it before we actually hit it with any sandpaper, because if you do break through, the carbon's pretty forgiving, but the Kevlar is not. Any of you who have dealt with this, go ahead and put that down in the comments and let me know your experience. But that is going here in the center. So I think it'll be a nice touch. Rather than wrapping the whole thing in the red carbon fiber Kevlar, I think that, we'll keep it black mostly and then just have those accent pieces. And I think the door handles might get the red Kevlar, and then maybe some of the door card pieces that I'm going to be redoing to get the interior fitting better. Those will probably be red Kevlar too. So stay tuned for some of that. I may go and do, kind of a tutorial time-lapse video of doing this stuff, because it does seem to take a little bit more effort and technique in order to get this stuff to sit right. So stay tuned for that. And there it is with its first layer of epoxy, or actually it's wetting out. So come back in a couple hours, we'll give it another coat. A couple hours after that, we'll give it another coat, and then let it cure, and it'll be ready for sanding. And then we can fit this guy, which is an actual map light system for the Aventador. So that's what we're going to be putting in that center section there. Give it the right look. And there we go. So those are nicely in there with a good reveal. So that's basically what we're gonna go with for now, until I come up with some other crazy idea. And then we do have some parts that I'm printing for this, so we'll see how those turn out. And then those will get skinned in carbon fiber. And then just waiting for a couple more pieces to print for this guy back here, so you can kind of see how that's going to look with these in there. And I think what I'll do is I'll probably put glass in there, or some grills. I haven't really decided yet how that's going to work out. Well, there's your update, guys. We're getting down to it. We've got basically 2 weeks until the car show. I've got this week off to button up as much as I can, and then we're gonna take it off to Bandimere on the 13th. So please come down and check out the car. I may actually have people just sign the car, so that they can, draw on the primer, which most of it's going to get sanded off anyway, but it might be something fun to do with the car. So another big thank you to Creality for supplying the scanner that's helping me with a lot of the new parts on the car. And we'll see you next time. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Bye.